Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Good evening, friends and family. Welcome to another edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents here on channel gboot2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Tonight, we will not have a long show, but we'll get into a couple of topics, including the following. We got an update on the nursing home scandal in Louisiana. This happened after Hurricane Ida. We'll also be talking about the former DA, Jackie Johnson, indicted in her role of the death of Ahmaud Arbery and the value of your worth. I'll also discuss the Elijah McClain indictments that went down. We'll combine all of that. I'm sure if you saw Nicole's show earlier, I talked about that. But in the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you would like to donate to the channel, the links are at the bottom. You can hit the Cash App, the Google Pay, or PayPal. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Also get notifications if you have not when this channel goes live. I'd also ask if you could to check out our website for our seasoning, NawniesCreoleBlends.com. That is the name of our new company. We have a spice company. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. And also, I have to ask you all, if you want to advertise on this channel, you can send me a link to my email, gavin.grich1@gmail.com. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do this. We always got to get on up before we get down. And when we're leaving, we always, after we've gotten on up, let's get down and listen to get on up. So we get down, we go get on up. So sit back, relax as we play this tune. You can buy on iTunes, on Apple, on Spotify. I appreciate it if you did. And let us begin, shall we? Oh. Dude, I hate when this happens. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. All right. I got it.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Like now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll feel the groove. Get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby, feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
All right, we got to get on up. What's up, everybody? Pardon me for not putting the camera on right now, but I'm not in the best position at this moment. So as long as you can hear me, we're doing good. What's up, family? What's up, Sharon White? What's up, Steve? We got to get some more people in here. I don't understand why. Well, I know Jason Black has his show on right now, but we should be having better numbers than what I'm seeing on this channel. Though ScrewTube may be messing around with it. It wouldn't surprise me. What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Let's get into it. I won't waste too much time. I want to give a special shout out, though. I got to give a special shout out to Nicole from Nicole's View. She had on her live stream earlier this afternoon, her first in a long, long time, it seems. So it was a pleasure to see her back. So welcome back, Nicole. I know she was dealing with stuff with her husband and his illness. And, I've been in Dallas Fort Worth for over a week now. And
I am actually just bone tired at this point. Uh, you know, from all the hurricane fatigue that we've had, it's been over a week. It's just been, has not been a normal week at this point, and trying to balance between work, family, and you know, more things to do. Trying to work on finishing my book, and you all saw I had the cover of the book that's going to be coming out real soon. I want to say sometime this month, at least sometime in September, I'm pushing for a release of the book on Bill Cosby, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Bill Cosby, the destruction of due process in the United States. That is a must read. I'm telling you, it's a must read, not just because I wrote it, but also just dealing with what happened in that case. The things that went down, stuff that should not have transpired. I've been real tight on this. Killisai, what's up, man? I'm not in New Orleans, but my home did okay. I'm doing fine. I'm in Dallas at this point, Dallas Fort Worth area with family. So I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking, everybody. I appreciate your prayers. Yeah, this is the book that's going to be coming out soon. So, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., Destruction of Due Process in the United States. This is actually the prototype because there's supposed to be a straight verses with it. So, hold on. That's much better. That's actually the cover right there. So, I hope y'all look forward to it. I'm going to put it on Amazon eventually. And we're working on that. So, that's coming real soon. But let me go ahead and get into it while we're here. Guys, let's just talk about this topic. I have an update for everyone on the nursing home scandal. Now, if you remember on this past Thursday, we had our brother Sean James, who was on, and we discussed the impact of Hurricane Ida, because Ida not only impacted Louisiana, it also impacted New York and the Eastern Seaboard, and even some states in the Midwest, a few states in the Midwest. So what happened here, as we were hit directly by Hurricane Ida in Louisiana, we had several nursing home residents from New Orleans, from Jefferson Parish to, I believe, from even Terrebonne and Lafourche that were en route to a center in Independence, Louisiana, which is in Tangipahoa Parish. It's actually north of Hammond. We're in that area. I've been there a few times, going to court out to Tangipahoa, so I'm familiar with the area. And apparently they were at this warehouse that was run by a guy who I talked about him earlier, very wealthy man. His name is Dean, I believe. And I want to get his name right because I'm going to misspoke. But you had 7 of these nursing homes. The state has immediately closed all of them. This is an update. River Palms Nursing and Rehab in Orleans, South Lafourche Nursing and Rehab in Lafourche, Maison Orleans Healthcare Center, Orleans Parish, Park Place Healthcare Nursing Home, Jefferson Parish, West Jefferson Health Care Center, Jefferson Parish, Maison de Ville Nursing Home, Terrebonne Parish, Maison de Ville Nursing Home of Harvey in Jefferson Parish. 4 dead after 850 nursing homes residents packed into a warehouse for Ida. And they were packed into this warehouse where the conditions, once the power went out, they grew intolerable, from no air conditioning, no allowing of their medication, no use of restrooms, facilities, just it went to shit. So we go to WWL TV with the story. Here's the video here.
Well, there has been a lot of fallout today from the story we broke yesterday about the 4 deaths of nursing home patients after they were evacuated into a crammed and leaky and hot warehouse in Tangipahoa Parish ahead of Hurricane Ida.
That story to the detriment of the families that are involved. Today, Attorney General Jeff Landry joined Governor John Bel Edwards earlier, calling for a criminal investigation. So they want to find out more about the owner of the nursing homes and the decisions that led to the ill-fated evacuation.
And we are learning a lot more about the conditions inside the building from investigative reporter Mike Perlstein, who got an exclusive interview with a nurse who was there as the conditions deteriorated. Mike?
Well, Karen, the nurse's description of what she saw inside that warehouse is both horrifying and heartbreaking. She said she did all she could for the patients, but the cascade of problems quickly became overwhelming. As Hurricane Ida approached Louisiana, patients from several nursing homes were taken to this warehouse in Independence.
They didn't really tell me they had a plan. They just said they was evacuating the people to Independence.
Nurse Natalie Henderson said she had misgivings as soon as she entered the poorly equipped building. And once the storm arrived, conditions went from bad to worse.
One of the parts of the warehouse started leaking water, so they had to move the patients from that part of the warehouse to the part where everybody was housed, and then we had to move the mattresses even closer together. It was trash, full of urine and feces all stacked in a corner, and the place just smelled horrible.
And what signs of distress did you see with patients?
Some were hollering, they were in pain, they were hungry, they were thirsty.
Conditions declined quickly as the plan to shelter 300 patients kept changing until there were more than 800.
They kept rolling in more residents. I'm like, oh my God. And we had to keep pushing the patients over tighter and tighter to fit everybody in. I was in tears, like it was very overwhelming.
A businessman named Bob Dean is the owner of the warehouse, as well as the nursing homes that were evacuated. Maison Orleans here in Uptown New Orleans is one of 7 nursing homes in which Bob Dean and his companies are listed as owners. All of them get consistently low ratings. The ratings are published by the federal Medicare Nursing Home Compare website. As you can see, Maison Orleans gets 1 star out of 5, rating much below average. So does Maison de Ville in Harvey and Maison de Ville in Houma. In a press conference Thursday, Governor John Bel Edwards expressed dismay over the deaths and vowed to get to the bottom of it.
We're going to do a full investigation into whether these facilities, the owner of the facilities, failed to keep residents safe.
State Attorney General Jeff Landry weighed in today, saying his office is launching a full investigation. Mike Perlstein, Eyewitness News. Now, we have been trying to get a hold of the owner or his representatives, but so far, Karen and Sharice, we have not heard back.
An incredible interview you did there. Do we know who actually, we know nurses and the helpers, they are supposed to be mandatory reporters. Any idea if they were the ones who kind of quietly tried to reach out to state authorities and warn them?
Well, it was a confusing situation because LDH, Louisiana Department of Health officials, were inspecting the facility in the first several days after the storm. But I think it was Tuesday when the people running that facility blocked health officials. There had been, some constant communication, and I know some of the staff did try to reach out, but there was an assumption that LDH was on top of it, and they were blocked, and I think that is going to be part of the investigation by the state.
Okay, so you heard it there that they're going to be investigating this. Attorney General is going to launch a full investigation. Let me say, yes, there are criminal charges that can be pending from this. I said
So
this
Saturday marked another
on
big
Sunday.
day for Entergy Cruise.
I said this, on Thursday when I did my live stream with Sean. Our elderly are by far our most vulnerable, and especially during a hurricane, especially during a natural disaster, they're the first ones that should be given care in that situation. And certainly it seems, just from what I'm looking at, and it's all preliminary, that they did not get the adequate care that they needed by this nursing home, by this Bob Dean, who owns these. Apparently, you heard there that his nursing homes, at least 3 of them, have a 1-star rating. You know, a lot goes on in those nursing homes. I know for a fact, as I have had, not in those particular nursing homes, but just the ones, a few that I knew, where I had loved ones staying at, they were not treated properly. You have a situation where, I mean, people who are elderly, they're near, I hate to put it this way, but it's true, a lot of them are near death. And, you know, that odor, that foul, you know, stench of stuff that's there, people are not taken care of. They're not wiped. They're not clean. People don't change their toiletries. They're not fed food. And you had a situation here, especially with all of the conditions going on, deteriorating outside, the weather deteriorating, the death of, you know, all of these people, these 4 people at least, and that was enough. That could have been prevented. I don't know all of the facts and circumstances because that's what an investigation requires. But we know from what we're hearing in the news that most of this stuff could have obviously been avoided. And it seems to me like there wasn't a plan other than getting and busing people to this warehouse. And we know that Hurricane Ida, I know it directly hit Hammond. It tore up Hammond, it tore up the North Shore. You know, especially going in that northwest direction that it did. The hurricane was right there. If their power was out, you know, afterwards, there's no air conditioning, there's no water, there's no food. So you had what you had in Katrina, how all of this stuff just went to shit in a heartbeat. And I'll be honest with you, I have PTSD over it from time to time. Doesn't get, I don't think about it as much, but maybe around when we have the storms coming in and getting closer like this one did, I was reminded of some things that I went through back in 2005 when I was 19, making sure that I had all of my clothes. I had to pack up as much of my electronics, all of these things. Everything I had, I thought of. So I think about that, and I think of what's going on here in this United States. And I'm just, you know, I can't say I'm taken aback, but I am. I am taken aback by what transpired. And all we can do, obviously, is wait and see. But, you know, one thing for sure, if they got you, they got you. The feds got you, they want to punish you, they're going to punish you. If, especially over the elderly here in this state, well, how I know they operate, they'll definitely go after you over this stuff. So y'all let me know what you think will happen. I'm trying to see some people if they're in the chat, because I'm live on Facebook. I'm also live on YouTube. We got some, I know we have more than more in here for sure. Yeah, feds get you, they get you. But I don't know about the feds being involved in this because this was a state crime, alleged state crime that took place, Sharon. So, please, Sharon. Oh, yeah. I got nobody in the chat on Facebook. All right. Well, that's okay. You guys hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're talking about the nursing home scandal. I'll leave the link to in the comments section from WWL-TV. You guys can check out and look at for yourselves. I got to move on because I said I wasn't going to be up this late with this, and I wanted to get back to watching, spending some time with my family a little bit. But yeah, this, I would come on camera, guys, but it's just, you know, distracting when you have people in the house and you got kids running around. So I don't know who will come on the screen and try and get in the show. that stuff happens from time to time. I talked about this about the former DA Jackie Johnson, who got indicted. I know Jason Black is doing a live stream on it as well. What also came about too is that we had the prosecutor. So this happened. Jackie Johnson was indicted. Now, Jackie Johnson was indicted for basically violating her oath of office as the DA in regards to the McMichael situation. And you look here, this is on news. This is the video. So this is the News 4 in Jacksonville, if I'm not in Brunswick, Georgia. They made, and Jacksonville and is like right, not far from Brunswick, if I'm not mistaken. Or I could be wrong. Is this Jacksonville, Florida? News Jacks. But there have been other situations involving former Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson. And I even filed myself a complaint. I'll say
there has been a lot of fallout today from the story we broke yesterday about the Georgia deaths of nursing home patients after they were evacuated.
Sorry, that's not the wrong video. So we're gonna go to Channel 4 out in Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken, and this is a video about Jackie Johnson. So let's take a look at this.
The News 4 Jax I-Team has been looking into Johnson's track record as the district attorney for 5 counties. She was their top prosecutor for a decade. I-Team investigator Vic Michelucci shows us how other attorneys have raised red flags long before the Arbery homicide.
Jackie Johnson got international attention as the top prosecutor for the Ahmaud Arbery case, but she had been the district attorney in Southeast Georgia since 2010, when the governor of Georgia appointed her. During her 10 years in office, she was in charge of several high-profile cases, including some that are controversial. This cell phone video showing the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery caused outrage, coming out 2 months after Glynn County Police and then District Attorney Jackie Johnson decided to not charge the 3 men who chased him down. That ended up putting other cases she worked under the microscope. This 2010 video shows 2 Glynn County police officers shooting and killing Caroline Small after she led them on a chase. Cops had her car pinned and she was unarmed when they fired. Johnson presented the officer-involved shootings to a grand jury, but defense attorney Bill Adkins told the I-Team she made several legal missteps. Johnson provided the officers' defense attorneys with evidence before she presented it to a grand jury. Johnson went before the grand jury without presenting an indictment, and she allowed defense attorneys to participate in the grand jury hearing by asking questions.
Yeah, that is a red flag. Now, that does not happen. I can tell you that attorneys are not allowed to guide their clients, especially if they're there to testify in a grand jury proceeding and they're being indicted. They're not allowed to answer questions on their behalf. However, clients can plead the fifth if it's any information that will result in incriminating themselves. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, dear. This is a red flag. So she went before a grand jury without presenting an indictment, provided attorneys with evidence before a grand jury, which is something that they cannot do, which they normally do not do. Allowed attorneys to ask questions in a grand jury hearing. Yeah, this is messed up. So this lady has quite the history, apparently, in regards to this situation and being a prosecutor. Now you see why it wasn't just the Ahmaud Arbery situation. Let's continue playing the video, shall we?
No charges were filed against the officers.
She violated that, plainly, unequivocally, and there was no consequence other than the fact that 2 men went free.
One of the officers, Corey Sasser, would later become a fugitive on domestic abuse charges. And in 2018, he killed his estranged wife and another man before turning the gun on himself. Another lawyer who questioned Johnson's legal practices was the district's former chief public defender, Kevin Goff, who says there were violations long before the Arbery case.
What about the thousands of other people who have been run through the criminal justice system and the tens of thousands across the state? What's being done to make sure that these kinds of problems don't happen again?
So are you saying that you feel, in your opinion, that some defendants did not get a fair trial when Jackie Johnson was district attorney?
I have no doubt that defendants did not get a fair trial. I have no doubt that people that were innocent under the law went to jail. And, the sad thing is trying to figure out that is difficult.
The two sparred frequently in court. Goff was the court-appointed defense in the 2013 case where two teens killed 13-month-old Antonio Santiago while his mother was pushing him in a stroller. Goff says Johnson's indictment shows his complaints for years had merit, especially since the former police chief was also indicted in a subsequent corruption case.
I think that's a pretty damning indictment of the way law enforcement has been operating in Lynn County for some time. So, it's trouble.
Now pause. This guy, I believe, is the lawyer on your left. On the left, if you can see him. He's the lawyer for William Bryant in the Ahmaud Arbery case. I remember he appeared for him on CNN. I thought he looked familiar. That is him. His name, hold on a second. Let's look at it. Kevin Goff. I know that's him. Yeah, I remember this now. I'm going to finish the video, but hold on.
And I'm sure the community is troubled by it.
Johnson blamed the controversy over Arbery's death for her election defeat last year. Independent candidate Keith Higgins collected thousands of signatures to get on the ballot and won. He's now the district attorney. I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Vic. Our coverage continues right now on news4jax.com. We posted a copy of the indictment against Jackie Johnson. Just look for the story on the homepage.
All right, yeah. I remember she looks familiar. So, yeah, he looked familiar. So, yeah, here's the video. And this was posted by an attorney at a law firm. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, guys. But, yeah, that's Kevin Goff on the right.
Thank you, sir. Good evening.
And I remember, and look at the title this guy wrote. He says, "How Not to Lawyer. William Bryant's lawyer, Kevin Goff, commits malpractice live on CNN." So, yeah, that was him.
Well, there has been a lot of fallout today from the story.
Sorry about that. So they all knew how bad this woman, Jackie Johnson, was. And let me say, it is very similar to what happened. What's up, Star? How you doing, baby? It is very similar to what happened to when I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very similar to what happened with Bill Cosby with these district attorneys. A prosecutor is supposed to bring charges if they have probable cause, not based on if they like a person, on their feelings or how they feel. And apparently this Jackie Johnson, and I'm going to only say alleged because I don't know all the facts, and just by default, you're innocent till proven guilty. She did everything, allegedly, to protect these race soldiers, to protect these demons. I'm calling it what it is. I'm not holding back my punches right now. I know I got to be careful because there's a trial going on. But what we saw in that video essentially it's indefensible what happened to Ahmaud. Doesn't matter his past, doesn't matter what he was doing. If he did not threaten them in any way, shape, or form, and you pull your gun and you kill somebody, that's murder. Point blank. Now, as a lawyer, of course, I have to state, yeah, again, innocent till proven guilty. But the video, like we saw, just doesn't look good for them. But she's made headlines. This is in as I'm reading further. So this New York Post article goes further in how she violated her oath of office. Allegedly, is that Johnson worked with Greg McMichael, who is charged with murder as Travis McMichael. They're charged as accessories, as is William Roddy Bryan. He called the then DA soon after he chased down Arbery 25 in a pickup truck while his son Travis McMichael shot the victim dead in the coastal town of Brunswick. Jackie, this is Greg, the suspect said, according to a recording of the call presented to a grand jury. Could you give me a call as soon as you possibly can? My son and I have been involved in the shooting, and I need some advice right away. The court heard that Johnson did not call him back that day, but she allegedly showed favor and affection toward him and told cops that Travis should not be arrested. The McMichaels allegedly trailed Arbery for 4 minutes while a neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, followed behind, taking cell phone footage which showed Travis shooting the victim at close range with a shotgun. The McMichaels maintained that Arbery was a burglar who attacked Travis, but investigators found no evidence the jogger committed a crime. They said the alleged killer called the victim a fucking nigger. I'm not mincing my words because that's what they allegedly use after the murder, and often use racial slurs online and in text messages. The McMichaels and Bryan remained free for months after the case until the cell phone footage finally emerged and Governor Brian Kemp kicked the case up to state investigators amid a public outcry. So Thursday's indictment came after Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr called for an investigation into local prosecutors, including Waycross Judicial District Circuit District Attorney George Barnhill, who has not been charged. Yes, I called this out, guys. I actually did this myself. I actually sent a letter of complaint to the Georgia State Bar on Mr. Barnhill and Ms. Johnson. And I'm glad that charges have been brought. It says here that Johnson called Barnhill for advice on how to handle the shooting, and he later said that he did not see grounds for the arrest of any of the individuals involved in Mr. Arbery's death, according to officials. It appears their intent was to stop and hold this criminal suspect until law enforcement arrived. Under Georgia law, that is perfectly legal, Barnhill said in a letter to local police. The Civil War era law was later repealed amid a public outcry of local officials handling of the hate crime. Johnson was voted out of office following the controversy. Yes, this did hinder, and rightfully so. So Ahmaud's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, she posted this on Facebook. Former DA Jackie Johnson indicted. Justice for my baby. Let me say this. While this may be a law about holding a criminal suspect at that time, the last time I checked, shooting anyone is still against the law. Killing someone is still murder. That is not justifiable. That is not Law. Yes, self-defense is the law. Murder is against the law. Yeah, everybody's checking in. I know with Jason Black's live stream, I would have gone in earlier, which is what I usually do, or sometimes I go afterwards. But you know what happened? I did Nicole's live stream at 3. So in doing her live stream at 3, and then I've just being here in Dallas doing stuff with my family, I didn't have any other time, and plus I'm working, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the grind does not stop, so I'm keep grinding this over and over again. I said I wasn't going to do a Sunday show, but I decided to do one because I try to stay consistent. We're going to continue to monitor this. And probably the next show, I will read the letter to that I sent to the Georgia State Bar. Hold on 1 second. Girls, I'm doing a live stream. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. That's my baby cousins in here. Yeah. So I'm seeing everybody. So we got more people in here. I take it to Jason's show end. At any rate, okay. Well, I'm going to continue monitoring this story and wait till other things happen when I get a chance, and I'll probably read the letter that I sent to you and the response that I got back. But they even said they were monitoring and looking at this, and it looks like our prayers, our hard work has paid off. So keep your fingers crossed. Again, I don't support lynch mobs, but you know what? We'll go ahead. We're going to continue monitoring the story. We're going to continue to look into this because we got to bring stuff like this out. We cannot let prosecutors we cannot have prosecutors that we put in office protecting criminals and they themselves being the criminals and complicit. Black Voltron asks, do we have a conspiracy to obstruct justice? It apparently looks like way, brother. I don't know. Again, he just ended. I thought so. I just looking at this situation overall and what happened, it definitely seemed like a conspiracy between those two prosecutors, Barnhill and Johnson. A prosecutor is not supposed to be a defense attorney. If you want to be a defense attorney, then you need to step down from the DA's office and go open your private practice or join the public defender's office. Either way, get your ass out of office or represent the people like you swore to do. That's the problem. We had a similar situation with Elijah McClain. The prosecutor didn't want to bring charges in that. And finally, we learned 4 days ago that charges were going to be coming. Finally, we learned that the people that were involved in the death of Elijah McClain, the police officers and the paramedics included, nobody was spared. They injected him with ketamine, and he died of a heart attack on his way to the hospital, where he was declared brain dead. So he was essentially dead. A 32-count indictment on September 1st, 2 years after he died. A 32-count indictment. Oh, Numbers mean everything. So on his anniversary of his death, Elijah spoke from the grave and said, you're going to arrest all of these people. So we're going to a 32 count indictment. Officers Nathan Woodyard and Randy Rodema, former police officer Jason Rosenblatt, and Aurora Fire and Rescue paramedics Jeremy Cooper and Lieutenant Peter Sikunek. I'm mispronouncing that name, I'm sure. Sikunek, with 1 count each of manslaughter and 1 count each of criminally negligent homicide. They also have second-degree assault with intent to cause bodily injury and committing a crime of violence. Rodema and Rosenblatt will face these charges. These were the cops that were involved. They also had the paramedics each face 1 count of second-degree assault with intent to cause bodily injury, second-degree assault for recklessly causing serious bodily injury by means of a deadly weapon, which was the ketamine, and 1 count of second-degree assault for a purpose other than lawful medic or therapeutic treatment. Each of these carries 2 counts of crimes of violence. Nothing will bring my son back, but I am thankful that his killers will finally be held accountable. McClain's father, LaWayne Mosley, said in a statement after Colorado AG Phil Weiser announced the charges. The district attorney in this case did not want to bring charges. The DA in this case, I remember if he was on CNN and announced he was not going to bring charges on him. He didn't believe a crime had been committed. I'm trying to find his name. DA Young, his name is Young. What's his full name? Tell me what his full name is. We're gonna put DA Young on the spot. David Young, that's it. He said here, he informed the Aurora Police Chief Nick Metz in a letter that based on the investigation presented and the applicable Colorado law, there is no reasonable likelihood of success of proving any state crimes beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. Therefore, no state criminal charges will be filed as a result of this incident. The Attorney General says otherwise, Mr. Young. Now, they have to go on their evidence. I understand all of that. They have to go on their evidence and what they have. And yeah, I understand you have to prove things beyond a reasonable doubt, but that is the point of trial. Remember what happened in the case I know it's a movie, but you remember the scene, if you ever remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen, where Gerard Butler and Jamie was the vengeful father and husband whose family was murdered by these 2 criminals. And it went to court, but Jamie Foxx's character, Nick Rice, who was the ADA, he was the ADA. He was the one that made a decision to make a plea deal with the criminal, with the main one who actually did the crime, the main murderer. And in agreement for his testimony, he was going to sentence the accomplice who didn't actually commit the murder and crime to the death row. So he escapes punishment. And Jamie Foxx's character didn't even want to bring the case to trial, even though Clyde Shelton, Gerard Butler's character, demanded he do so, pleaded with him. And for 10 years or so, if you watch the film, he plotted revenge against the entire justice system, not just the man who did this, but everyone in the DA's office, the judge's office, the mayor's office. Everybody was in his path. And so in one scene where a close friend of Jamie Foxx's character is killed, Jamie Foxx beats the crap out of Gerard Butler's character. And Jamie Foxx is telling him, we would have lost the case if I had gone in the trial. They both could have walked. Don't you understand that? And Gerard Butler quipped and said, you didn't even try. Had you tried, and you had lost, I could still hang my head up and applaud you. If he had tried, and that's the thing, he didn't try. He didn't do his job. And his character was trying to convince and teach Jamie Foxx a valuable lesson about not doing plea deals with murderers. And in the end, Jamie Foxx learned his lesson. And that was one thing people think that the character should have lived, the Gerard Butler's character. But yeah, based on the history, past history of this ex-prosecutor and police department were running a organized crime ring, you're asking, could they be charged with RICO? Well, you know, R. Kelly's being charged with RICO. He's being charged with running a criminal empire. So I don't know. Perhaps he could. Who knows? I don't think we're going to get that far, because in this situation, you're talking about a black man who is being black men who were killed unjustly. So normally they don't go all the way out for something like that, punishing their own. I don't know. You know, apparently I think Jackie Johnson, she had a apparent history, and so many complaints were raised about her. See, your voices do matter, and they matter if we all come collectively together. And that's why, and I should have included Elijah McClain in the comments, but that is why this thing moved forward. We brought this up. When this went viral, we said, you bring charges, or else you will not get reelected. You fire these individuals. Otherwise, we're not going to do any fundraising or support for your next campaign. To a degree, voting does matter. To a degree, it does, but it is finances. It is money that controls everything. And you have to understand, and this is the next thing I want to talk about before I get out of here. I'm going to spend at least 5 minutes talking about this, the value of your work. You know, I had job offers. Thank you, Cheryl. I had job offers before in the past that I turned down. And the reason I did was because I had my own, and I still operate my own law firm, as you know. And I valued something, even though I would have gotten steady paycheck, benefits, and health insurance, no doubt, all those good things. But there's something I valued out of everything, out of all of that. My freedom. My ability to work on my own. My ability to make money and raise money for myself, to say, I did this. Running your own company is not easy. By no means. Being an entrepreneur is tough. People don't support you. People that want to hook up. People not willing to work with you. Nights and days you're going to go out without money. Now, I'm not saying I don't work. I still do work do things, you know, because we all got to put food on the table and clothes on our backs. All of us got family we got to support. But you always, especially as an entrepreneur, should know the value of your worth, the value of self, of yourself. I don't know if if I had gotten a job as a PD full time. I'm not saying I'm against opening in the future or even working as an ADA or that, whatever. I don't know if I would have time to work on these books or even to do podcasts and live streams. I probably could, but I mean, my schedules would change. You know, when you work in that area, you're working for somebody else, you're on someone else's time. And I would say the same thing with people I had hired in my firm, or if people I hire to do work for me, I'm on their time, they're on my time. So they got to do what I say. It's just natural. But I understood the value of my work, and I understand the value of ownership. And when we look at people, and you know, I talk about people like I talk about Bill Cosby all the time. I talk about Michael Jackson. I look at the YouTubers that are here, like your Jason Blacks, Tariq Nasheeds. I respect these men. I do not agree with everything that they say. I don't agree sometimes with how they say things and talk to other people. But I can respect them because they make a living for themselves and they've built something up that they can pass on to their children. They have a legacy. Tariq Nasheed has a legacy. If he builds this museum, and I've never known him just from, business dealings that I've seen where he's been dishonest in any way, shape, or form. But when you're talking about building a museum out in Los Angeles, a hidden history museum, that is a great thing. That's something to leave for his children, that your daddy, his children and grandchildren, your daddy built this museum, or your granddaddy built this museum so that our kids can know their Black history. There's countless Black history across this country. In my home state of Louisiana, in my hometown of New Orleans alone, that people don't know about, that should be told. We have a Black inventor that changed the sugar industry for the whole world. Norbert Rylu. We have the first Black governor in PBS Pinchback. Oscar Dunn, the first Black lieutenant governor. The roles they played in the Civil War, in the military. All that here. Know the value of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. My mother, I will never forget when she worked at the VA hospital, when she would, when they worked for the government, you get things tax-free. But my mom actually bought me for Black history several books. All right, computer robots, thank you for coming in. She brought me several books on Black history. And I started reading this early about Black artists, Black painters, Black inventors, civil rights activists, scientists, and so on. All of this is important. Ownership is important. Like, again, why I talk about Bill Cosby and Michael Jackson, Sam Cooke, those guys understood the value of ownership. And it made them targets. You got to understand the importance of ownership. We got to understand the importance of the dollar and the impact that it has. We get sick and tired of seeing, as I'm out here in Dallas, I'm going to relate this and I'm going to wrap it up. As an evacuee, this has opened my eyes, living in Fort Worth and Dallas, because when I get ready to go back to New Orleans, it's going to be a huge, fucking drop. You know why I say that? Because New Orleans it's a city without money. Sadly, the have and have-nots rule. The haves have it and the have-nots don't have it. I'm sick and tired living in my area of a beautiful area where there's no shopping mall, where there's no adequate police protection, no adequate food, no adequate grocery stores, restaurants. I'm out here in Dallas. There's something everywhere. Right on this corner, right there on that corner. You want to go, you can't get it here, or you can go get it that way. New Orleans, you don't have that. If I want to go shop, I got to go park all the way down the Riverwalk, pay for parking, and do my shopping and piss in the French Quarter. Or you can go across the river, or you can go across the lake. Our tax dollars are going to other parishes, and we're not getting a dime. We're not seeing any of that recuperated to us. And y'all think it's okay? I'll never forget. I'm going to share this. I'll never forget a family friend when they announced Walmart was coming to New Orleans East. And we talked about how bad the New Orleans East needs to separate from the city of New Orleans. We need to form our own council, our own committee. Do you know what she said? She said, well, I could care less if they ain't got nothing out here. As long as they got a Walmart, I'm good. You can go to a Walmart in the smallest cities in Louisiana. You can find a Walmart. Hell, as I was coming from going through Jackson to Shreveport in these backwoods towns, I saw a damn Walmart. Food deserts. Yeah, exactly, Black Voltron. A food desert. I'm supposed to accept this? No, sir, I will not. Know the value of yourself, people, because when you have a mindset like that, and a lot of people don't even want to give back. One of the reasons why people don't come back to New Orleans and New Orleans East is because of that mindset. The mindset of our city has to change. Your mindset has to change. Yeah, I'm serious, Black Voltron. That's what she said. As long as I got a Walmart, I'm good. A lot of these Negroes, let's just be honest, a lot of our elders, they have failed. We got to be real. There's a difference between an elder and an old Negro. And these Negroes have dropped the ball continuously. And all the weight and shoulders they put on their children to do stuff when they could have made it 10 times easier. You went to college, you got an education, you got a degree. Okay, then what? What good is a college education right now when you're in debt by $80,000 and you can't get a job? What good? You're slaving for somebody else. Know the value of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Run your life and don't let anybody else run it for you. Because if you don't, you're going to be gravely disappointed until your time is up on this earth and before you meet the Creator, before you go back to God. Do what you got to do as a man or a woman. Take care of yourself, your family, and your community. Make it a better place. Put money in it. Get a group of like-minded individuals. Surround yourself around like-minded individuals in order to build the value of your community up. Create some businesses, ownership. That's how we got to do it. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. This has been another edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents. I see a lot of our people in, especially Black Voltron. I see you commenting. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. If you like to advertise with the channel, if you have a Black-owned business, please hit me up in the email. If you would like to join our Patreon, you can. I got to do some more of my podcast, which I plan to do this week when things get back to normal. I might do a show tomorrow since it's Labor Day, but you guys look forward to that. Also, try out the Nornie's Company, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to NorniesCreoleBlends.com, try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornie's goes great with every dish. What's up, Derek Bailey? Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Thank you to our 1,000 subscribers. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, before we get on down, or since we've gotten on down, it is time now to get on up. I have some new music that's going to be available soon. I'm working on this week. So I can't wait for you all to hear my other single. It's an instrumental. I think you'll love it. Thank you, Sharon White, for the support. And I'll let you know when the book will be finished. I'm looking for a release this month. All right, so you guys be safe and be blessed. In the meantime, let's go and get on up, guys. I'll holla. Love you. Peace and blessings. Happy Labor Day. Enjoy it. Get some good food. I'm out.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Gotta get on. Come on, baby. Gotta get on. Baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the